Hello everyone, I'm Clara from the future. As most of you guys already know, Honkai Star Rail, which is the game I come from, has a roguelike game mode called Simulated Universe, which is similar to this Labyrinth Warriors event in Genshin Impact, back in version 2.2. But it gives a lot of good rewards like relics, which are the artifacts of that game and enemy materials, unlike Genshin, which mainly had primogems for the first 4 challenges. For those of you guys that are unfamiliar with Star Rail's Simulated Universe, here is an explanation for it. One thing to note is that there is a shop where you can buy some free-to-play 5-star light cones through Hertobonds, which is a currency you get as you play through Simulated Universe. If only they could implement this for Genshin. Matter of fact, while they're at it, they need to do something for the 4-star event weapons that people nowadays are unable to get, like Albedo's signature sword, for example. Anyways, this light cone, from what I know, can be a good option for Dan Heng and a few other Destruction Path characters like myself included. Although honestly, Mr. Svarog is the actual character. You know, now that I think about it, why aren't we called Clara and Svarog, but Topaz and her companion gets to be called Topaz and Numby? This light cone can be a pretty nice free-to-play option for Fushuan paired with the Effect Resist Planner set, which gives 10% extra crit damage to everyone on the team, since she is currently the only HP scaling tank, so she can take the most advantage of the shield passive. I don't fully know how good this light cone is, but it seems like it can be a nice free-to-play option for Kafka. This light cone, on the other hand, is an insane free-to-play option for Seela if you don't have her signature, based off the fact that it gives a lot of crit rate for free, while giving an attack buff for 2 turns after you kill an enemy, which Seela can make perfect use of with her extra turns. You're also able to buy these free refinement materials, which are only exclusive to these light cones. This also has a reward system that resets weekly, where you can get the Immersifiers in between the first Stellar Jades reward, which are basically primogems, that you can use instead of spending 40 resin for relic drops in this game mode, almost like condensed resin from Genshin. For the first 2 stages in each of the worlds, you fight in a room against 3 groups of mobs that drop blessings similar to Genshin's Spiral Abyss, that provide various buffs. If you don't find the one you need, you can choose to reset through Cosmic Fragments, which is the currency you get as you progress. Then you go through one of these 2 random teleporter paths where you enter 2 rooms where you can either continue fighting, although only this time it's only 1 group of mobs. The second stage only has 1 room, or you can go into a room where you have a chance to obtain some more buffs, as well as curios, which are game changer effects, similar to what we had with Genshin's Labyrinth Warriors, coming from these random event frames, which have some that can mislead you into agreeing to certain things, and lead to random fights. Next, you enter a room where you fight an elite enemy, where you use this immersion machine next to them, where we get the relic drops from afterwards. Elite enemies at the end are guaranteed to drop a gold blessing, as well as a curio. After every elite level, and before the main boss, you come to this room where you recover, revive some people that died, bring in 1 more character you can replace in your party at any time, and also you can purchase a 1-star blessing which isn't as valuable, 1 curio which personally I believe is the best option, and 2 random blessing enhancements which can be decent from Herta. The one before the main boss is different, since you enhance any amount of blessings you obtain that you have enough to buy. For the 3rd and final stage, the first 2 rooms are random as you make your way to the end where you fight the main boss. For their immersion machine, you're able to use 40 extra Trailblaze power, or 1 extra Immersifier for an extra drop. What if Genshin brings back Labyrinth Warriors, but this time it becomes permanent? To make things more interesting, I was also thinking we could fight the Archons as a new boss challenge that drops some new unique rewards. like a custom main stat selector with a set and piece of our choice from Star Rail, substat changers fixing bad rolls from Epic 7, and a feature that Epic 7 recently added is a material we can use to reset max-level bad roll artifacts and try our luck again. This time around, instead of having every background stage based around an Inazuma dojo, they should be based around the other nation's domain areas, depending on which Archon boss challenge you choose. Starting with Venti's challenge. For the elite enemies / sub-bosses, the main options I could think of are Jean and Diluc, since they have a closer connection with him, especially Jean. Also, since they helped him in the Archon quest. For Diluc's part, I feel like he would fight us alone. And for Jean, I feel like she would have a similar role to Lady Bronya from Star Rail, where she would occasionally spawn her knights and support them. Although in Jean's case, she would heal them through her abilities and her regular hits. Other than that, I feel like both her and Venti could have an advantage since they can pull and send us flying. For Venti's first phase, it starts off with a normal fight against him alone, where we slowly start to see what he can truly do as he uses his arrows and magic to crowd control and damage us, which fully comes into play during the second phase where he calls for Diluc and Jean to help him as he leaves the battlefield and supports them from behind the scenes. For the third and final phase, after we beat Jean and Diluc, Venti finally unleashes his full powers and lets us know that he won't hold back this time as he starts flying around the area and casts tornadoes and wind blasts. Me and Sean are thinking we would need to dodge until a certain point where Venti comes down to recover and we can finally start hitting him. Or during his flying phase, we could take advantage of charged bow users and some other ranged characters like Nahida and Nuvolette, depending on how close Venti is, which could make them more viable for this boss fight. To make this more challenging and exciting, we're also thinking we would have to wait for him to come down a second time after he instantly recovers at 50% HP, creating an Anemo shield immune to damage, and knocks us back if we don't have interruption resist up, which is something they could have done for Scaramouche's first phase to make it somewhat more interesting and challenging. This meme is actually reversed because the playable character is actually better than the boss. How easy it is to one-shot the god of arcane wisdom.
Time to go!
I can't.
Well, anyways, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share this information with as many people as possible, just in case by some rare miracle, Hoyoverse comes across this video. And most importantly, subscribe for more of Sean's content in the future. It was truly an honor for him to invite me over to narrate this video, since I have the most experience with Star Rail's gameplay. We're gonna just let this masterpiece play out till the end. Go check out Farabi's channel for more creative Genshin instrumentals. Also, good luck to those of you that are planning on pulling Rise Lee or Venti, although personally it would be smarter to save for Farina over Venti, or wait for Kazuha's rerun.